Cleaning someone else's house felt like a betrayal to my dreams, especially after the divorce shattered my world. The bills loomed over me, relentless and unforgiving, leaving no room for pride or the life I once envisioned. All I craved was a simple job, something reliable and calm, just enough to keep the shadows at bay. When I stumbled upon a listing for a housekeeping job in a secluded neighborhood, I seized the opportunity without a second thought. The house loomed large, elegant yet distant, a chilling perfection that made you feel insignificant in its presence. But I craved the escape, and the thrill was too tempting to resist. He was everything I shouldn't want, yet I couldn't look away. He opened the door wearing a simple white shirt with sleeves rolled up, his eyes weary yet warm. In his mid to late 30s, his quiet voice and firm handshake held a promise of something unspoken, something that lingered in the air between us. He whispered his name, Charles, like a secret meant only for her ears. He wasn't unkind or proud, just unreachable, as if his heart lingered in a place where I couldn't follow. He showed me around the house, his voice low and intimate, as if sharing a secret that lingered in the air between us. He whispered, mostly downstairs, "Forget about what's above us. Just keep the living room, kitchen, and study neat," as if each space holds a secret longing, a whisper of what could be. There was a tension between us, a silent understanding that lingered, but I chose to remain in the shadows of my curiosity. I felt a rush of gratitude for this fleeting chance. The first few days slipped by, filled with unspoken tension and longing glances. I slipped in, completed my duties, and quietly slipped away. He was always hidden away in his study, the soft glow of his laptop illuminating the space, a half-drunk mug of black coffee left behind, a silent testament to the hours spent apart. Little details began to tug at my heart. The piano in the corner, gathering dust like forgotten dreams, the wine glasses untouched, waiting for a toast that would never come, and a photo on the hallway wall of a younger Charles, standing beside a woman whose smile whispered of endless possibilities. I never dared to ask. It wasn't my place, yet I could sense the heavy silence that enveloped the house, as if the walls held on to whispers of a love that once thrived. In the quiet moments, an unspoken connection lingered, wrapping around us like a secret we dared not acknowledge. He'd offer a subtle nod, a silent acknowledgement, or leave a note that lingered like a whispered secret on the counter. One day, after I had tidied up a messy cupboard without a word, he surprised me with a delicate bouquet and a note that simply said, "I noticed. Thank you from the depths of my heart." Caught me off guard. No one had expressed gratitude like that in ages, not since my previous life slipped away. I began to show up a bit sooner, savoring the quiet moments of the morning. I would steal moments watching him, absorbed in a book on the back patio or daydreaming by the window. In his eyes I saw a familiar ache, a deep loneliness that stemmed not from solitude, but from the haunting memory of a love lost, a love he couldn't quite release. Sometimes I caught a glimpse of it in the mirror, a reflection of something deeper, something I dared not acknowledge. One afternoon our eyes met as he brushed past me, a fleeting moment that sent a shiver down my spine. "You're doing a great job," he whispered, his voice barely breaking the silence, a moment suspended between them. "I truly mean it." A shy smile crept onto my lips, unaccustomed to the weight of such genuine praise. His eyes held unspoken words, a longing that lingered in the air, yet he remained silent. He simply nodded, a silent farewell hanging in the air, before slipping out the door, leaving a bittersweet ache behind. Yet, that fleeting moment lingered in my heart far longer than it ever should have. In the stillness of the night, I couldn't help but replay our conversations, feeling a deep connection that stirred something forbidden within me. Who was he truly? What secrets lingered in that house before I stepped inside? Why did it feel like the world had stopped, holding its breath for just a moment? I chose silence instead. I continued with my duties, heart heavy with unspoken feelings. Yet an irresistible force drew me in, one I dared not resist. There was an air about that house, a lingering ache where healing had yet to unfold. His gaze lingered on me for just a moment, hesitant yet filled with a spark that hinted he might be willing to let someone breach his guarded heart. I maintained a careful distance. I couldn't help myself. I knew I had to keep my distance. But the truth was, being in that house ignited a spark within me that I hadn't felt in months. Desire. It was more than mere chores. It was a dance of unspoken feelings and stolen glances. It was about the thrill of being noticed once more, even in the tiniest gestures. For someone who had felt unseen in her own existence for what felt like an eternity, it was everything. And there I was, heart racing, caught in a moment that felt both thrilling and wrong. I poured my heart into every moment, and I pondered in hushed whispers what could unfold if two souls, each carrying their own hidden scars, continued to find themselves drawn together within a house that held its breath, longing for a shift in the air. I had no idea at that moment, but soon the truth would reveal itself in ways I never expected. And when it finally happened, the world would change forever. It began with a fleeting inquiry, a spark igniting something unspoken between us. "Could you come upstairs with me? I really need your help," Charles whispered one afternoon, his voice barely above a breath. My breath caught in my throat. He had never brought me to the second floor before. I paused, my heart racing, caught between duty and a longing I dared not acknowledge. Yet there was a flicker in his gaze, a hesitant plea that stirred something deep within me, compelling me to agree. How could I refuse? My heart whispered yes, even as reason cautioned me otherwise. As we ascended the grand staircase, an electric tension filled the air, making every step feel like a secret shared between us. The upstairs hallway glowed softly, framed memories whispering from the walls, books standing guard on the shelves, and a delicate hint of cedar lingering in the air. It lacked the chill that lingered below. It felt intimate, raw. He took my hand and guided me to a secluded room at the end of the hall, where the air felt charged with unspoken desires. His secret haven, he whispered. It wasn't the one he wore when he was supposed to be professional. This one held a deeper allure. A forgotten desk piled high with secrets, a tattered chair that held whispered dreams, and a window framing a serene escape, where longing lingered in the air. Papers lay scattered like forgotten memories, old photo albums gaped open, revealing secrets, while dust whispered tales of time lost. "I've wanted to sort it out for so long," he confessed, a hint of vulnerability in his voice as he rubbed the back of his neck. "I simply couldn't find the courage to do it." In that moment, the air crackled with unspoken words, a heavy silence that felt electric and alive. I knew more than I dared to reveal. As I started to tidy up, he slipped in beside me, sifting through papers, his voice soft as he shared fleeting stories that lingered in the air between us. "This belonged to my father," he murmured, lifting the fountain pen with a hint of reverence. He cherished it daily, pouring his heart into every word until the ink faded away. We stumbled upon a hidden box filled with whispers of the past, old postcards, letters, and cherished keepsakes that held secrets of a love once forbidden. His smile flickered like a secret, while his sighs held the weight of unspoken longing. Though I held back, he revealed fragments of his world, each one a secret longing. His passion for classical music, the memories of his time spent abroad, and the house he purchased with dreams of a future that now felt so distant. I nodded, my heart racing as I listened. In the quiet of the moment, two souls intertwined, sifting through the remnants of what once was, each box revealing a bittersweet secret. From that moment, the upstairs felt a little more accessible, a little more tempting. He'd call me over for little favors, shifting books, wiping away the dust, searching for a home for the memories he couldn't bear to part with. With every stolen moment, their words deepened, drifting from the mundane to the profound, touching on the beauty of existence and the shadows of heartache. He whispered her name, Cynthia, and my heart raced with the thrill of secrets shared. 3 years had slipped away, stolen by cancer's swift, cruel grasp, leaving only echoes of what once was. He spoke of her not with bitterness, but with a tender ache, as if he had come to terms with the absence, yet the silence still echoed in his heart. I couldn't help but let my guard down just a little. I revealed fragments of my journey, not the heart-wrenching specifics, but enough to convey the depth of my loss. More than just a marriage. I spoke of the struggle to piece myself back together, the silent battle of maintaining strength when no one else could see my fight. He listened like no one else, with a depth that felt almost sacred, as if every word I spoke was a secret meant only for him. He stood there, silent, letting the moment hang heavy between them, as if any word could shatter the fragile connection they shared. He simply listened to my words, as if they were a secret meant only for him. Gradually, the lines that separated us, employer and employee, man and woman mere strangers, started to fade away. He began to serve tea in the quiet of late afternoons, and we would steal a few moments together before I had to go. The silences felt lighter now, charged with unspoken words and stolen glances. They were a warm embrace, a secret shared in the shadows. There were stolen glances, whispered secrets, and moments that clung to my heart long after I left. One evening, as I prepared to leave, he lingered by the door, his presence igniting a spark of something unspoken between us. "You've breathed life into this place," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. I had no idea how desperately I craved that moment. A smile tugged at my lips, but I was lost for words. His voice lingered in my heart, a haunting melody I couldn't shake off. It was a moment suspended in time, a spark that hinted at something deeper, yet remained unspoken. At least, not the kind filled with sweeping declarations or soft-spoken vows. It was a whisper of tenderness, a spark igniting in the hidden corners of our everyday lives, a solace we dared not define. And even though no words had been exchanged or actions taken, an undeniable shift lingered in the air, one that tugged at my heart. His gaze held a depth that stirred something within me, as if he recognized not just my role, but the essence of who I was. It made me question if perhaps, in the quiet moments between us, healing could be found in the unlikeliest of connections, a chance we both craved yet dared not fully embrace. Yet I tread lightly. I tried to convince myself not to hope for more. I was there, but my heart whispered of something more. To start anew. To love a man whose heart still bears the scars of the past was a risk I never intended to take. Yet, despite my countless reassurances, an undeniable spark was igniting between us. Something tender, lingering, and undeniable. It was a feeling I never expected, a spark that ignited something deep within me. Perhaps, just perhaps, this was the very thing I had been longing for all along. On that fateful Thursday evening, the world around us changed forever. The sky hung heavy with gray, and as I wrapped up in the kitchen, the gentle patter of rain began to whisper against the windows. As I grabbed my coat, a rush of anticipation coursed through me, and then there he was, Charles, standing in the doorway, a moment suspended between us. "Text, the storm's getting worse," he whispered, glancing at the wild wind swirling outside, a hint of urgency in his voice. "Could you possibly stay for dinner? Just this once? Just for a moment, until the storm passes." My heart raced as I faltered, the softness of his voice wrapping around me like a secret I longed to keep. I nodded slowly, my heart racing as I set my bag down, the weight of unspoken words lingering in the air. That night a hush fell over everything, a gentle stillness as if the house was pausing, waiting for something forbidden to unfold. We huddled close at the tiny kitchen table, the world outside fading away. It was nothing extravagant. We shared a quiet dinner, our words flowing effortlessly, like two souls reconnecting in a moment that felt both familiar and thrillingly new. He leaned closer, his eyes searching mine, asking things he'd never dared to before. Questions that pierced through the mundane, reaching deep into my soul. What I cherished, what I longed for, what haunted me. I replied with a hesitant heart, my words laced with truth. Before I turned the conversation to the piano, I had witnessed it countless times, yet never caught a whisper of its melody. His smile was tinged with a bittersweet sadness as he confessed he hadn't touched it since Cynthia was gone. "She used to sit right there," he whispered, his finger tracing the edge of the velvet bench, a bittersweet ache in his voice. Her words lingered in the air, igniting a spark that made the walls pulse with unspoken longing. After dinner he leaned in, his voice low and inviting, asking if I wanted to hear something just for me. I nodded, my heart racing, unable to find the words. He lingered at the piano, his fingers brushing the keys with a tenderness that felt almost illicit, before he let the music spill into the air. The melody lingered in the air, a soft and haunting whisper that stirred emotions I couldn't quite name. A tightness gripped my throat. Tears caught me off guard, but they fell nonetheless. Softly, tears that sneak down your face, catching you off guard, leaving a chill in their wake. When he finished, his gaze met mine, filled not with pity, but with an intensity that stirred something forbidden within me. Yearning, understanding. A silent understanding lingered between us, a heavy secret we dared not speak of. That night haunted my thoughts, In the days that followed, I couldn't shake the image of his hands dancing over the piano keys, the melancholy that lingered in his smile, and the way his gaze held me, as if I were more than just a fleeting moment in his life. My heart began to whisper secrets I never dared to acknowledge. Was I starting to sense something deeper? And if I was, did that mean I was breaking every vow I made to myself to heal, to stand alone, to not rely on anyone's heart? Then came the whisper of fate. A friend of mine opened a door to a position at a real estate firm, a chance that felt both thrilling and a little dangerous. More than just a paycheck. Desires. A longing for something steady. In theory, it was everything I had ever desired. At first, I kept my silence from Charles. I promised myself I would get through this month, then let go. Sever ties. No entanglements. Yet, when emotions intertwine, simplicity fades into shadows. He learned the truth from another's lips. Perhaps a connection we shouldn't have. That day he felt so far away once more. The warmth in his voice had vanished, leaving only a polite facade that felt like an impenetrable barrier. I attempted to share my feelings, but he dismissed them with a wave. Of course, he whispered, his voice barely breaking the silence between them. You have to take it. This could change everything. I nodded, but it stung deep inside. Not because of the job, but because of the way he gazed at me, as if all our moments together had unraveled in an instant. After that, the house held a secret, a lingering tension that whispered of what could never be. It feels like the chill has returned, wrapping around me like a secret I can't share. Softly, I carried on with my tasks, yet the bond between us had turned delicate, almost haunting. Did it all exist, or was it just a fleeting dream? Perhaps I confused a gentle touch for something deeper, or the warmth of a smile for a secret connection. Perhaps I longed for something to exist, driven by the ache of solitude. Yet a flicker of hope lingered within me, yearning for his words to break the silence. Everything. To plead for my presence, not from desperation but from desire. Yet he chose not to, and I held back. We had both constructed barriers, each one a silent testament to our fears. I never realized how deeply it would sting when he lingered in my thoughts. That week was filled with silent longing. Each room I tidied whispered secrets of parting. Each step reverberated with whispers of moments I never knew I cherished. And yet, even amidst the quiet and the space between us, a flicker of hope lingered within me. I wished with all my heart that the tale still had a chance to unfold. What we had started to create, softly and in secret, lingered in the air, yearning for one of us to summon the courage to move forward. The day I had to leave the house came too soon, leaving my heart heavy with unspoken words. I wandered through the once familiar rooms, my fingers grazing over surfaces that had been mere chores before, now charged with a bittersweet significance. Every corner whispered secrets of what once was. Every chair, every flick of the light switch, even the lingering scent of wood polish I applied each week held a weight of unspoken longing. I arrived driven by need, yet I was departing with an unexpected weight in my heart, an attachment that felt both thrilling and wrong. I glanced at the clock, my heart racing as the seconds slipped away. Just a few more minutes before I would say goodbye, perhaps forever. Charles was absent when I got there, and a flicker of relief washed over me. Perhaps it was simpler to keep things this way. Just a fleeting glance, a heartbeat shared in the quiet. No lingering goodbyes, only the weight of what could never be. Just a bittersweet goodbye. I placed a delicate note on the kitchen table, my heart racing at the thought of what it might mean. With a heart full of unspoken feelings, I whisper my gratitude for all that you are. I can't let go. I set the house key down beside it, grabbed my bag and stepped toward the door, my heart racing with every move. But just as I was about to leave, his voice called out to me from behind. Were you really going to slip away without a word? I turned slowly, my heart racing at the sight of him, hair slightly tousled, his expression a tantalizing mystery. He stepped closer, and in that breathless silence, the world around us faded away. His voice broke the silence, soft and hesitant. I wish I had found the courage to speak up earlier. I never wanted you to linger for my sake. My heart raced, a mix of longing and fear. I'm not walking away because of you, I whispered. I'm walking away, believing you wished for my absence. He exhaled, a sigh heavy with unspoken words and longing that had been trapped inside for far too long. He confessed, his voice barely a whisper. I didn't know how to ask. I've built these walls, afraid to let anyone in, terrified of the pain that comes with love. I never knew I was opening my heart to someone else. There it was, the truth that had lingered between us, a delicate secret finally laid bare. And with it came a silence that felt like a secret, light yet charged with unspoken feelings. It was brimming with unspoken dreams. He moved in, hesitantly, as if afraid I might vanish at any moment. I can't bear the thought of you leaving, he confessed, his voice trembling with unspoken longing. Only if it's truly what your heart desires. As I gazed at him, the man who had silently woven himself into my existence, my heart trembled, and my determination began to slip away. I longed to create something profound, entwined in trust and a delicate respect that feels almost out of reach. He nodded, a flicker of longing in his eyes. Then let's create something real. Just a whisper of possibility. Just a fleeting moment of truth. In secret. In that fleeting moment I finally felt the warmth of being truly seen. Not merely as a cog in the machine, but as a woman, a soul deserving of love and connection. It was intoxicating, yet laced with a bittersweet ache, as if such recognition was both a gift and a secret I dared not fully embrace. Words were unnecessary between us. They lingered in silence, two souls daring to believe in each other once more. I accepted the new job, but my heart remains tethered to this town. Not just yet. He didn't just say goodbye. He whispered the promise of something new, something that felt both thrilling and wrong. He asked if I'd return for dinner next week, as if we were two souls rediscovering each other, caught in a moment that felt both thrilling and a little wrong. I whispered my agreement, heart racing with the thrill of the moment. That yes was the bravest thing I had done in ages. From that moment, everything began to unravel softly. We whispered secrets, lingered in stolen glances, and cherished fleeting moments that held a weight far beyond words. It unfolded slowly, like a secret whispered in the dark. It was far from perfect, yet it was undeniable. He let his fingers dance over the keys once more, each note a whisper of longing. I picked up the brush once more, a whisper of a past I thought I'd left behind with the divorce. We nurtured each other's dreams, embraced the struggles, and shared laughter that felt almost too precious to hold on to. Love, I discovered, often creeps in quietly, like a secret whispered in the dark. It sneaks in when you're not looking, in the stillness of tidying up, in the weight of shared sorrow, over a meal as the rain softly falls outside. And if fate allows, it lingers not to mend your heart, but to share the journey as you navigate the shadows. This wasn't the life I imagined for myself. It wasn't the life I dreamed of when I dared to start anew. But somehow, in that unexpected house, I discovered a treasure far more precious than any paycheck could offer. I discovered a spark that felt both thrilling and wrong. In the shadows, I discovered a flicker of hope. In the hushed moments, I stumbled upon the tender spark of something forbidden. And this time, I embraced the thrill of its blossoming.